Normally, Pungavanam is a time when we honour all the wonderful people who come here. Because we did the presentation today, we're going to honour all our wonderful volunteers on Vinayaga Chaturthi Day. But there are a few people we must mention today, and those are our wonderful priests who are sitting here with us today. Every time we have the Tiruvalla festival, we always say first week goes a little bit slowly, but then after that it picks up speed, and before we know it, it's Pungavanam Day again. And it's a joy to be here. One thing for the ladies, we don't have to cook at all during the festival time because we can always eat here if we want to. The other thing is, it's a real sense of family. The boys who carry Ganesha are here all the time for us. We've got a nice good group of Ganesha's girls coming as well, who have been doing their bit to show their creative energies and their creative genius in what they've done today. You can see the two melon carvings they did today. There's one of Ganesha and one of the Om. Now the girls who did it, they were busy all this morning trying this. When Dushantan said, I'd like to have a fruit, Ganesha made out of fruit this time.
It's so good that we have to show it.
And we told the girls... This one's the amazing one.
Hopefully I won't drop it.
Now, where's Jeremy? Okay, stand up. Stand up, stand up. Now, Jeremy is probably one of our most shyest girls in this group. When we ask her to sing, it would be very, very quiet. She sings. But she said that when we gave it to all the girls to do, and when we were discussing it yesterday, they said there's no way we're going to be able to. Dushantan showed them a picture from what was it, Watermelon Ganesha. So it was what he googled in, and they said there's no way we're going to do this, but we all have faith in them. We said, look, try it. So they came this morning, and after maybe a couple of attempts where you could see where's the melon, that's the melon that didn't work. But they created these masterpieces, and that's the whole thing about the temple, is to try and get these children, to give them as many opportunities as possible. If you looked on the Ter, the two Ter chariots we had, you would have seen the little cushions made of felt. Well, if you've been coming for the Tiruvalla, you'd have seen a group of girls sitting in the corner, busily making these beautiful little cushions out of felt, each of them with their own different individual design, and that was their devotion to Ganesha. When we saw on the Ter Day, who were the little girls who danced? Right, you stand up. All the girls are the little ones who danced? Well, these are two of them. There were 10 girls who danced on that day. How old are you, Sophie? 7. And Pranati? 9. So these are two 7 and 9-year-olds. I think you're probably the youngest one there, were you? Yeah. And it's the first time that she'd done it. Pranati's an old hand now. How many years have you been doing that? 3 years, yeah. She knows all of it. She teaches the other girls now when we do rehearsals. But they danced for 2 hours in front of Ganesha's chariot, barefooted in the hot sun and in the rain, and they danced non-stop throughout the whole of the chariot time, 2 hours outside, bringing smiles to everybody who saw them, with the older girls who had danced when they were younger now singing the bhajans for them and teaching them and supporting them as they went along. So these are just examples of the way that the temple has created children who feel that this temple is their own, as it should be. We see them starting like Sridharaya's. Where's Sridharaya's little naughty little one? Has he gone to sleep now? The one who you can hear the cry from far away. I saw him demolishing a pile of apples on that side. You might see the teeth marks in the apples on the floor when you get to Prasadam later on. From that age onwards, we encourage them to come here because this is their second home. This is the place where they feel safe, where parents can leave about their culture and their history and their traditions and their religion. And they grow up into fine, strong young men and women who are confident, who love their faith and who love Ganesha and who want to do everything that they can for them. Can you stand up if you did the collection on Sunday? Come on, all of you, Lakshi, all of you, those who rattled the buckets. Guy, did you do it? All right, Sayani, you did. Come on. Who else? Lakshi, you did. You did. Oh, keep it up. Just keep it up. Now, these girls have never, I don't think you've fundraised like that before, have you? All right, we just gave them buckets which had Ganapati Temple fundraiser on the front of it and a little pink sari to go on top of it. And we told them, go out into the crowd and shake the bucket and see what you can persuade people to give. My aunt and uncle was chief leader there with that as well. We emptied the buckets and we got some of the girls to count it. In that time, some of them were just so scared. They said, would you please, would you want to give something? Some of them were a bit more persuasive, but they all tried their best. And when we counted it up, it was £1,048 they'd made. So what we decided to do, we thought we shouldn't just put that into the building fund till. We have allocated the last mushigam that's going to go on the top of the Mulasthanam for you children who collected that day. So then all of that money is going to go to. So when you're grown up and you've got your children, you can point to that little mushigam and say, we helped to make that. We were the ones who helped. And as Ranjit was saying, how much we were involved with the temple building. I can point to the plasterboard which I put up, which I think is still going strong on the other side of the Mulasthanam. Unfortunately, health and safety now will not allow us to do as much as we used to do there. We were up and down ladders and doing things which I'm sure you fell from the Mulasthanam, didn't you, down onto the ground. We're not going to be able to do that in such a physical aspect, but there'll be many opportunities because we want the children to really feel that they have helped to build this temple. That's what keeps our connection so strong with it. And no matter how far away we go, we still have a little bit of him inside us. And whenever we come back, it's just like coming back home again. Can I just ask, although we love to hear the tunes of the different mobile phones, can you please just check and switch them off for the moment? Because it is a bit distracting when you do that. Right, so we want all the children to take part. So there will be art projects that we'll be getting them involved with. Things that they can earn, they can just raise a little bit of pocket money so that they can be involved with and say that they've been part of building this temple for the future generations who are here. So please do all support us. Keep an eye on the notice board. Who's on? Can you put up your hand if you're on Facebook? Okay, I think there should be a few more. Right, children, you need to get your parents onto Facebook, okay? Because we have started our Facebook, Sri Ganapati Temple. Just type in Sri Ganapati Temple on Facebook. And we've got photographs of Vasiyana being doused in water for the tirtham. We've got some of the boys carrying. We've got lots of little shots that we've put in there. And we'd like your comments and your support with that. And to spread the word to all your friends as well that we're here. For a long time, a lot of people don't. We call this Wimbledon's best kept secret, this temple here. Not many people know it's here, apart from the neighbours. We're here because of the parking, but a lot of people when they come here they just don't realise that this beautiful place is here because it's all shut up with just the very bland facade that we have now. With Ganesha and Merton Council Planning Committee give us permission, we will be bold and there with our Raja Gopuram there, and we'll be out into the community in a more positive way. And hopefully the residents, I think, will be proud of the fact that we are here and that we are making a huge difference within the community. Now, a few people to honour. This festival again has gone so quickly for us, and it would not have been possible without our wonderful priest. Bear with me, I've got to sort this out. My mum said she's not getting up this time, so I'm not sure you can help me. Can you, Prati, come down. Right, can you sort these out into class? And Vikaya, again, as always, I say, he came as a bachelor, married, had children, and had all the responsibilities and the ups and downs of being a householder here in the temple. And throughout, his his dignity and his experience and his learning and knowledge has always helped him, and made us really proud of all our priests here, because they have a quality of dignity and respect that is earned by what they do and what they say. Vigeya has been the perfect chief priest, because he not only leads, but he's also training for the future, knowing that nobody is indispensable. He has always given the opportunity to our other wonderful priests to take the lead. So it was wonderful that this year we had Sridharaya taking the lead for the festival, but you always knew that Vigeya was quietly in the background, never pushing forward, but always there, always guiding, always there with a quiet word if something needed to be done, and always looking at the bigger picture and checking that everything ran smoothly. And always, we had such a huge crowd for his speech every day choosing a different deity and expanding upon it, really increased our knowledge and the meaning and the emotional connection that we have with all the deities here at the temple. So we want to say thank you. Take over the... How long have you been here? 10 years. So see, we have very long-standing priests. I know there is this rule in other places that there's a 2-year contract and can be renewed, but we seem to have such fantastic priests that they come and they stay forever, and that's because of the connection that they have developed with us and also with the whole of the community here at the temple. Kananaya is known for his wonderful chanting and his very strict ideas and wishes about the grammar and the proper pronunciation of Sanskrit, which is a great font of knowledge for all of us here. He's been, as Ranjit said the last time, he has been smiling much more now since his beautiful wife came from India, and we look forward to other things. And I think he's been very more relaxed now since becoming a householder, and taking life as it comes and enjoying every day in that way. So I want to say thank you. And now to Sridharaya. We always refer to, if we looked at the 5 Pandavas, which one would Sridharaya be? He is our gentle giant, always ready to help, always there, always ready to talk to the devotees and help. There are a lot of new devotees have come and have done services because of his presence here. And nothing is too small. You'll see him, despite his, his stature, he can run as fast as anybody else needs to be. And nobody's afraid when Sridharaya is here. Nobody can harm us when Sridharaya is here. So he has been wonderful with all that he's done. Oh, you can say something.
Sorry, I have to say this. Sridharaya, as you know, has a fantastic sense of humour. He has a mischievous look on his face all of the time. And he's been known for playing tricks on people all of the time. So, quite recently, one of the members of our community got married. And he's sitting there, it's Bussy. So I said to Sridharaya, look, we have to play a joke on him somehow. And we were sitting there thinking about it. And I thought, okay, well, why don't we do this? We'll give him a coconut, and we'll see whether we can go and convince him to do something with it on his wedding night. So, I said to Sridharaya, what do you think? He said, very good idea. Unprompted, he went and got a coconut out. Put mango? Yeah, put a mango inside it, and also some rice, coloured rice. And he said to Vasi, by himself, without anybody else there, you must take it on your wedding night, you've got to put it on the pillow in between the both of you and sleep with it. So Vasi wasn't having anything, oh yeah, this must be a trick. So I actually took it to the flat Vasi was staying in, and I left it there for him as a reminder. The next time that Sridharaya saw him, he asked him whether he'd done it. What did you say? Yeah, he said that he did it. So this is how good a sense of humour Sridharaya has. Yeah.
Not only has he got a great sense of humour, but he's a fantastic chanter as well. I think particularly when Sridharaya and Kannanaya chant together, you feel the vibrations throughout the temple, because it's such an incredible spiritual upliftment when you hear you both chant together. So thank you very much. And he's worked so hard this Tiruvalla time to make it happen for all of us. And what I love to see is that on the Ter day, every single picture that we have of the Ter, which Nilesh takes the photos of, you can see Sridharaya beaming away and standing on the Ganesha's chariot and taking people around, or even in Ambar's chariot last year as well. Every single picture we have him with a smile on his face, so thank you. I can see that hint of mischief in his son's eyes as well. I can see him running around the temple, keeping us all busy in the years to come. Now we go to Selvaya. Selvaya has been with us 25 years as well. And he came with his... Children came at the same time? Yes, because I remember, I think for my wedding, gosh, that's so many years ago, we had a picture of little Narayan and Abhirami sitting together, standing together with us, and I'm sure Narayan was doing the money at that particular day. And now you see him. Not so little Narayan anymore. You heard was it that song? Kulavari. Go to YouTube. You'll see him. there. Selvaya has been our stalwart here at the temple for the last 25 years, helping people at their most vulnerable, when they've needed him most, to help with the last stages of the ceremonies that we need as we leave this earth. He's also been an incredible support for us here at the temple, and most incredibly, if you see the decorations that are here. Every day we see something new, and some new innovation that he's done in the gardens. Every year he comes up with more and more fantastic, amazing creations, which just leave us awestruck, absolutely awestruck, and it just embellishes everything that we have here. Every time you see, every time we run to see what the first glimpse of what Ganesha is surrounded with, and every year he never fails to surprise and to uplift us in the way that he does his decorations. So thank you. And now on to Uncle Mehta. The oldest, not in years, but oldest standing devotee who has been coming to the temple since its inception. I think daily, he and Auntie Mehta would be coming to the temple. They were here to help us at the very beginning when we started. He was here before the temple was here. He had the shop up the road, and they were residents here, and they were invaluable in helping and supporting us throughout all the times that we've had here at the temple. So he's been very, very special. When he retired, how many years ago? Yeah, 50 years ago. 15 years ago. That was his. When people retire, they tend to sort of take it easy. Uncle Mehta, no. He's been working even harder here. Every day without fail, he's been coming early in the morning to support the priests. Whenever we've needed him, he's always been here to support us, to give all the assistance that we need for the priests to be here. And he even, Nilesh will testify to this, he even cut short his family weddings so that he would come here. I'm sure you flew out after the first wedding ceremony, was it? And left the family there to carry on the festivities. He said, no, Ganesha, I need to be with Ganesha. And he came back so that he would be here for the whole of the festival. So that's a dedication that we have. And I like to watch him when we have the school children coming here during the daytime. Uncle Mehta is there, and we'll sort of give them a little nudge and tell them to go and help with the Abhishekam and everything, thrilling them all, or telling them to move out of the way while they're blocking the pathway when he's trying to get to Ganesha on the side. So he's our regular, our constant presence here at the temple, and we thank you. Hindu Temple's blog, because he's there not only at our temple but also at Stoney Amman Temple and others, and he'll always be there in front because he's always assisting. He knows even before Vikyaya turns around to ask for something, he's there. He knows what needs to be brought, and he'll be there to give it to straight away. So you've been invaluable assistance throughout our Tiruvalla time, and whenever we need him, he's always here to help support our priests. Whenever we need it, we need somebody to help with our many festivals that we have here. So we say thank you to them. Auntie Sheila came to me sort of day 2 you're not going to come and call our names again because we just get so embarrassed when we're talked about here. So I said I promised that I wouldn't be, but so we may have to postpone that to Vinayagar Chaturthi time. There are so many volunteers who are here, too numerous to mention. And I know that if I mention some, and if I try to mention everybody, I'm going to invariably leave somebody out. But I wanted you to have a look at the garden that we have here. Ganesha's reclining area, his chill-out space that he's had this year. And this year the Sai Mandir decided they were going to do the Uvail together as a collective, because they are a family, they're a Sai family, they've grown up together, the children have grown up together, and they decided that they were going to do the Uvail today. And each of these flowers and plants that you see here was brought by one of the Sai devotees. Each Sai devotee brought, one Sai brother or sister brought the plants themselves here from home. They brought them and they created this together. And this is almost an example of how our temple is as well, and our mandir here together. Each and every person quietly comes and does their bit, quietly, without pomp and circumstance, without saying, oh, that's mine, or I've done all of this, without any show of egos. And they come and they do, and they create something beautiful together. And then we all enjoy that together as a family. And this is an example of how our temple runs as well. And we are so fortunate. I always say that when my father died so suddenly, the only thing that kept us going when that disaster struck and our world fell apart was all of you who are here today. You came, you wrapped us in this blanket of love. Priest said, don't worry, we'll keep the temple open, and the temple never shut because of that. So while our world was crumbling, all of you came and built it up for us, and we will never forget that. And that's why we come every single day to the temple, because you are the ones who spiritually uplift us. You're the ones who come to give your devotion to Ganesha through the work that you do, through the love that you show him, for no recognition, no plaque on the wall saying that this is what you did, but purely as your prayer to him. And that's what's truly humbling and makes us grateful for being part of this. When we see children who we've seen grow up come with their children and say, I want them to learn music here, I want them to learn dancing here, because I want them to feel the same feeling that I had when the temple was here. That's what is the reward for us. And that's what you give us every single day. So thank you to all of you who have stayed so patient and so quietly. I love the fact that you're so quiet and that you're listening and sharing. And this shows how much of a family you are. You're not looking at your watches and saying, oh gosh, when's the food going to be? Well, the food will be here soon. But I want to say thank you to all of you, to our uncles and Kirtana, who were fantastic for their Ullaparta today, kept everybody laughing. Now, you see, this is the wonderful thing about this temple, is that these children who have grown up. When did you start coming here? Too many years to mention. When you nursery, it was nursery. Yeah, so from a nursery, I came here to nursery. Before the temple was here, this used to be a Presbyterian church, and then it was converted into a community centre, which had a nursery. And I came here. You came here as well. I learned Bharatanatyam in the which is the mandir now. It was a community hall. So even before this temple was here, some of us were here before that as well. So Aaron came here as a baby. He was here at Balvikas, yeah, and he learned Mridangam, and he performed here many times as well. This time for the Tehran, for many times before that. He's been part of the traffic control. Is it traffic control? Yeah, with his boots on. He's the only one who's allowed to have his boots on because he has to run in an emergency if needed. So he knows his stuff. His expertise is that. So he comes with that, and then you see him here performing and accompanying on the Mridangam tabla. So this is the multi-talented kids that we have here. And the joy of the pair is seeing all these children who've grown up at the temple come back to do the stewarding and to be part of the temple once again. I saw so many youngsters who I haven't seen for years, who came to help on that day. It was wonderful to have a quick chat with them. So it makes us realise how many children have benefited from what we have here at the temple, benefited from the dedication of the gurus in the Sai Mandir to do the spiritual education, benefited from the music and the Tamil, the language that they learn here, and also benefited from the spiritual enlightenment that Ganesha gives. So Ranjit was saying about we need the support. We need the support in everything, not just in we need the financial support as well, but in any way that you can. The volunteering that we'll have a lot of needs over this next year. We'll have to ask you for a lot of support in the changes that we'll have to make here. We will have to move some of the classes out because we're not going to have the room to be able to put all the classes here. So we ask for your patience and your kindness and your support in all the upheaval that will happen in this year to come. But like a caterpillar which goes into a chrysalis, it will emerge in hopefully a year's time as a beautiful butterfly that will be here. Although it looks beautiful now, when people come in they think it's amazing, but it can be, from what we have seen, it will be even more than that, and it will be a traditional South Indian temple that we can all be proud of. So thank you for all your support. Thank you for your support throughout the we look forward to seeing you and join us in enjoying the transformation that we see in the coming year to come, and be part of that legacy that we can show to our children to say that we were part of making this history. Thank you. What the Ganesha boys mean here. He has been carrying, every time he comes to the temple he carries. But he was key. We've given him a new appointment in the temple, and that is of chief pigeon catcher. If you notice, there was a pigeon in here, and some people were convinced that was my father who was coming back to check that we were doing all the decorations properly, because he's been coming in several times, several years later. So he was flying, this pigeon was flying up and down, and it was fine, that wasn't a problem. We thought, yes, he's nice, he's enjoying all the decorations. But when he started leaving little packages all over the temple, we thought it was time to finish. So we got a little, the Vasi and others, they constructed a big stick with a feather duster on the end, trying to shake him out of the way. He was flying from one side to another. We posted boys at all the exits and just opened one of the windows and tried to get him through. He was having none of that. Then somebody had the good idea. Upstairs from last year's Virta Tiruvalla, we had a foam bow and arrow, which had foam missiles on it. So we thought, right, we could use that to try and scare him to go into the place. So we thought, who's the best person to do that for? Sridharaya. Sridharaya is so good with the bow and arrow from previous Virta Tiruvalla days. So you have to imagine the scene. This is when most people had gone, and there was about 15 of us in this hall. Sridharaya, with his foam bow and arrow from Thorpe Park, I think we got it from, shooting these foam arrows at this pigeon to try and get him to come down. 10 minutes, 15 minutes of flying here and there. He'd had enough after that. He came flying down. He decided he was going to try and get out that side. One of the boys who was standing there saw this pigeon coming towards him and ran and screamed out of the way. And this pigeon was flying around this side. Jagan manfully leapt into the way, caught the pigeon in his hand, and went and took him outside and flew away. So we hope that this will remind him that this is his new role, one of the new roles that he has in the temple. The rest will come for Vinayak Chaturthi. So thank you very much for all of that.